It's a pleasure to be speaking with you both. The same opening question to you both. Julian first. How's your day going aside from answering the same questions over and over and over and over again for media people?
Well, I think we reached a level of silliness at the moment and really enjoying it. Yeah, but it's great to see you. Just curious about your avocado story in the back.
Yeah.
I went to this press event for avocados from Mexico, and I took the balloon because the publicist didn't want to take it home, and I didn't think it would still be inflated 6 months later. I don't know what to do with it. Do I just deflate it and throw it out, or do I leave it so people ask about it?
No, leave it. It's really nice.
Set it free. Open that window and cut that cord and let it fly.
Okay, so set it free, but keep it. I'll do both. And also, how's your day going aside from the same media questions over and over and over again?
Yeah, good, thank you. We've just found the cookie jar, so we've got a new lease of life. It's empty now.
So the character, Detective Miranda Blake, how much of that character is there in you, the human being Ellen?
I think we share some characteristics for sure.
I see the Julian moves, yes.
Yeah, no, nothing alike. Definitely not uptight. Yeah, I think we share. I think when we first started in season one, I would identify more like the similarities more with Miranda. But I think as time goes on, and I sort of like I've grown up a little bit or grown older, I feel like we're not so similar anymore. But I'd say I'm quite, I can be quite driven and focused in the same way. But I don't know. I probably am a bit uptight, aren't I?
I don't know.
It's not
no, maybe I don't know.
Question.
That's a trick question. I'm not saying anything. I could say too much.
Yeah.
Well, did the role of Detective Blake lead to your role on FBI International? Are you now typecast within law enforcement and criminal justice roles?
Well, it's funny you say that because I've played another 2 detectives since Mallorca Files. Maybe I'm now, I'm the go-to detective person. I don't know. I don't mind. I quite enjoy playing detective. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, you're not alone in that. Julian was also part of Cop Stories.
Yeah, but I was a gay guy who lost something, and a policeman found it for me. So that's okay.
Right.
I wasn't a cop.
So you're on both sides of the law. So in your case, Detective Max Winter. Now, letting Ellen, of course, make her hand gestures. Is there a lot of Detective Max Winter in you and a lot of you in Detective Winter?
Yeah, it is definitely. That's also the interesting thing that it's for the first time in my career that I am coming back to the same role over and over again. So you not only me as a person, I'm growing. It's also you see the character growing, and to watch that, and to that it's still like believable, and there's an authenticity. How do you call it?
Authenticity. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
The English word for me. Authenticity that has to be always come through. So that's very interesting actually to accompany a role for so long.
Sure. Now, one thing I'm curious about is you two are very authentic in your portrayals of detectives in this role. Take the compliments. There's no but coming along with that. When there's shows that people are playing detectives, police officers, agents, etc., there's two ways of doing it. One is that they went to the police academy and they had to do all the intensive boot camp stuff. And then the other one is they go, no, it's a good script. We have a great director. We're not worried about it. Which one is the Mallorca Files?
I definitely say the latter. It is a sort of crime drama or detective drama, but it's not so heavily procedural, and I wouldn't say it's overly accurate. It's sort of like it's covering it lightly. So I didn't feel like I needed to do too much. You do some research to know how your characters got to where they are and what they would have had to do and stuff to get there. But it's very lighthearted, the show, isn't it? So it doesn't feel like we need to be too bogged down on research or things like that. It's more just about having fun with it and having a good time, and hopefully that translates over to the screen.
Yeah, it's all with a twinkle in the eye. So that's it. It's a little bit, we take a genre and we not taking it too seriously. So we are having fun with the genre. And I hope that this is fun watching as well.
Yes. So here in the US, most TV shows seem not to be filmed where they're saying it is. So, for example, when they say, hey, it's great to be here in Las Vegas, it's really New Mexico, or hey, beautiful New York, and it's really Vancouver, Canada. All the Mallorca stuff of season 3, is that actually Mallorca?
Yeah, all of it. I think because, it's Mallorca is like a protagonist, like it's as much a lead character as we both are, and all the stuff we shoot, we try and shoot out on location with beautiful backdrops. So
Sure.
it's essential that we're there, and why not show it off? Because it's like one of the most beautiful places in the world. So yeah.
I'm glad to hear that, because I've done some film junkets that it took place in New York and you realize it's actually Austria. They found the 2 blocks of Austria that look like New York. So was this your first time actually being in and around Mallorca, being on this show?
I've been there before on holiday, but had
No,
you?
you've shot
Oh
there.
yeah, I've worked there as well. Yeah, I shot a zombie film there. So I'd actually worked there. Thanks for reminding me of that. So yeah, no, not my first time. Had you been before?
Yeah, once for 24 hours for a wedding, but
Oh.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I'd imagine. So this is season 3, and most shows don't get a season 3, which shows that BBC and or Amazon, everyone's kind of behind the show. I'm curious when you each knew that this show was going to go more than one season.
So we found out about season 2 on the wrap party for season 1.
Yeah.
So that was a really lovely moment, because we were with the crew, we were all together, and we had the announcement, and it had been greenlit before season 1 had come out, which was unusual for the BBC. So that was a really lovely moment. And then finding out, obviously, that now we're joining the Amazon family and that we get sort of resurrected again, and like we get to do more, was just, oh my gosh, just such a lovely moment, wasn't it?
Yeah, because we spent years not knowing if it will come back, right? So there was a pandemic. We had to stop filming second season, so it only has, instead of 10 episodes, 6 episodes, and we didn't know if we would come back as Max and Miranda. So we were very happy 3 years later that we heard that we're going back. It's like it almost feels like a revival or something, which is like more settled, and it's has a lot of pace. It's fun, and I think we used all that things that worked in the first 2 seasons and just elevated them together. And now we've got a 3rd season.
Well, I have 2 questions for both of you, and then you're free of me. You ready? They're softballs.
Yes.
Okay. The first one, Ellen, are we allowed to know what's next from you professionally, or is it all Mallorca Files forever and ever, and this is your swan song? Or do we have to wait for an embargo to lift to know what's next?
I hope it's Mallorca Files forever and ever. I'd be very happy to keep going and doing loads more of it. I have another project coming out in the autumn, the one that got away, the complete opposite in terms of genre-wise. It's very dark, bleak, very intense drama. It's very nice to be able to sort of, flex my acting chops in a very different way. So yeah, I've got that coming out, in the autumn.
Same question for you, Julian. Are we allowed to know what's next, or top secret, classified?
I'm currently working on something. I'm not. I think I'm not allowed to talk about it at the moment. But it's a nice thing. So it's. I'm curious how it turns out. So yeah.
A nice thing. Well, the last question for both of you, and this may take a second to think about. What's the last concert that you went to?
Ooh.
I know it.
Oh, go ahead, Julian.
The Rolling Stones.
Oh, lovely.
Wow, at Wembley?
The Rolling Stones. No, at Vienna.
Vienna.
Yeah.
So when you were in Vienna,
that was lovely. I mean,
you weren't pretending like it was New York for the 2 blocks of Austria that could look like New York, correct?
You're absolutely correct. Looks like New York in Vienna a little bit. We have 2 skyscrapers, so yeah. If there's a deli and a coffee shop, it looks like New York.
There you go. Ellen, do you know what your last concert is?
Trying to think, probably Primavera, actually. I went to Primavera in Barcelona, so I think it would have been that.
So I've
And what
learned.
about yours? What was your?
I saw Santana and Counting Crows 2 nights ago. They said, "Hey, you want review tickets?" Sure. You take the review tickets and you go, "Okay, now I've seen Santana." You ever seen Carlos Santana?
No, but
No.
Counting Crows, yes. Yeah.
I've seen Counting Crows, and they were on my first Rolling Stones gig. That's about 15 years ago, 20 years ago. 20 years ago. They were the support act of the Rolling Stones, Counting Crows.
Small world. Well, I've just learned that not only are you on an excellent show that's in season 3, but you both have excellent musical taste. So thank you for your time. Looking forward to whatever's next, whether you're funny or not in those roles. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Bye.
My pleasure.
Paltrocast.